What is up, people? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. My deload is officially over, so I was back in the gym this week, which was very exciting. 4 days felt like a long time, to be fair, away from the gym, especially when all you want to do is keep progressing, keep the weight dropping, keep getting leaner, maintain your strength, and hopefully preserve as much muscle mass as possible. So that was quite difficult. It's funny because I know people talk about discipline and bodybuilding, and I think I came across a pretty cool quote, which is discipline for a lot of people is you forcing yourself to the gym, and then discipline for someone who's really pushing it is actually taking time away from it. And I really felt that. But at the end of the day, it gave me a chance to sort of focus on what needed to be done outside of the gym, both in terms of schoolwork and in terms of just general life. As I probably didn't have a lot of balance, and I'll go back to not having a lot of balance now. But yeah, it was nice to get away and focus on other stuff. The deload wasn't really necessary. It was something that we had planned in sort of at the start of prep, as we just want to minimize the amount of like general fatigue. Like food is gradually getting lower. It's becoming a little bit more challenging as the weeks go on. I am getting leaner. I am still pushing the gym very hard, and every set is pretty much to failure, which is requiring some extra sort of management there, which is going well, and ultimately this deload has just allowed me to drop off some of that fatigue. We had a little diet break where my food was up to sort of training day food, which was good. I felt hungrier though during that time than I have when I'm lifting and when I'm sort of doing other things, so that wasn't great, even though I was technically eating more food because I wasn't training and I was eating training day food. But yeah, that was that. So dropped off a good amount of fatigue, and then we went into the gym for some deep volume sessions this week. Normally it would be a bit more not planned out in terms of what we've done previous is see how I'm feeling, see how lifts are going, see how body weight is, and then sort of regulate from there. So deep volume sessions just mean reducing the amount you do. So I pretty much just take a set off of every exercise that I have, which generally means it's one set, especially for sort of the tougher compounds. So these barbell rows, the chin-ups, and then when it comes to isolation stuff, I don't really do like deep volume. That's probably wrong, and I didn't really like explain that too thin, but I think that the general fatigue is not going to be too demanding. This was supposed to be a mic'd up workout, but I forgot to turn the bloody mics on. So yeah, that was, yeah, that's what happened. So pivoted here with a little sort of debrief of what the session is like and what sort of the last couple of weeks have been like. So I thought it was a good chance to actually just talk about sort of how prep has been, because while I talk about what lifting is like and sort of where I'm what I'm trying to do and all these things, I haven't really sort of just taken a chance to sort of appreciate how the last sort of 11 to 12 weeks have been of prep, and honestly they've been really good. I couldn't really ask for anything better. Like, weight's been steadily coming down. We were looking for about a kilo a week. I'm just under that, so that's pretty good. But I think I'm leaning out pretty well. Our food's been decent in terms of I'm not eating anything, which is nice. I'm at the point where food is very manageable. Like I don't really get really hungry, so that's very nice. But I'm always a little bit hungry, so I know that that's going to be a challenge for me. Cardio's not been too bad, steps have been very manageable, and I know that the first however many weeks been very sort of just easing me into it. I think it is my first prep. We just wanted to make sure that it was long and steady, and I wasn't sort of like biting off too much or digging myself into holes, but I definitely feel like I'm not at that point. which is really good. I'm actually doing less than I was during sort of like my first mini cut with Finn. In terms of cardio is only 3 days a week, which is awesome, and that's just allowed me to get more out of my sessions, I think, and they have been incredibly taxing. Like, even after this deep volume week, I do feel pretty sore. So if I did go in and just go balls to the wall like I would have done previously, or well, that's a lie, because I wouldn't have taken a deload. In my first year of training, I probably never took a deload, maybe once. Not sensible, but that's sort of where the mindset is at. It's like you've always got to be pushing, like you got to be in as often as you can, and constantly striving for progression, even if you're not getting it. It's not a sensible way of looking at it. Having a coach has really helped me with that, but the deep volume sessions have been good. Like, I've sort of just gone in with the mentality of, okay, I'm going to try and progress on weights that I haven't really hit before, or I haven't really hit in a while, not before. So for example, like the chin-ups, I've been pushing towards sort of 25 kilos on those, and I was like, okay, I'll peel back and go for 20 and try and get, I think the goal was 12, I think I settled on 11. Well, I settled, I wasn't getting any more than 11, but yeah, that's sort of my mentality for these sessions. But also because I've been in a new environment, like I switched the gyms up just because I wanted something a little bit more bodybuilding focused. I'm someone that has really enjoyed sort of pushing the free weight stuff. Like, I love dumbbell work, I love barbell work, I love just the fundamental stuff. So that's something that has always been like a big emphasis for me in my training, and I haven't really felt the need to sort of like push and try and find machines that line up really well, as I ultimately think you get sort of the most out of the more taxing work. So I'd always prioritize that stuff. But it's been quite nice to be in a bit more of a bodybuilding centered gym in factory, and that's been good. But also because the deep volume sessions itself just allow me to get used to the new equipment a bit better. But it's been cool trying out like the prime kit, messing around with sort of where the weight drops off. Didn't realize actually how good those pieces were, but the hype is real. Like, it's pretty fun to use. Going back to sort of how prep has been, like, I haven't really been sort of like mentally challenged either yet, like, because everything's sort of heading in the right direction, other than I had 1 week where my weight just spiked, but apart from that, like, everything's sort of just been linear and going really steadily, so I haven't really had any sort of like turmoil there. I'm happy with how I look. I'm not satisfied at all. Like, I've gone into this prep just wanting to try and think about it as I'm trying to enjoy this whole process as much as possible. I've flipping enjoyed these first few weeks, as in, like, training has been some of the best I've had, which is funny considering my food is considerably lower than during the off season. But I think I've just had a little bit more oomph. There's something that I'm really working towards, and that's been really exciting. But in terms of the look, I'm leaning out nicely. Still nowhere near stage condition, which is scary, because the first like trial show or warm-up show is in 12 or 13 weeks now, but there's no peaking for that. We're sort of just going in for 80% of what my best will be, which is really exciting, because that means that we're just taking it up a notch from there. I also quite like it just because it is the first show I'm going to be doing, so as in ever, so taking a little bit of that pressure off is pretty good. But in terms of the actual look, we're at 74.5 kilos. Started this prep at 83-ish, so we've had a solid bit of weight loss. And what's exciting is I haven't really had to push yet, but having sort of like viewed other people's preps and how it drastically changes after sort of like 8 weeks out, 7 weeks out, 6 weeks out, like that's when it gets flipping tough. So that would be cool. But like I said, just trying to enjoy it. I'm enjoying it so far, and I think my mindset is very much on just trying to get the most out of training at the moment, and just trying to enjoy having some energy and still able to progress. I mean, I don't know whether it's a change in environment or something else, but I feel so good about training. I feel so energized. I feel so good about like everything I'm eating. Like I just feel really positive about it all. So that's something that I've got to enjoy now. As I know, I might be excited about how I look, but I won't be excited about how I feel at certain points. But I'm feeling really good. It's probably a combination of the deload and something a little bit fresh and new. So yeah, I'm just trying to capitalize on that, and just trying to get the most out of my training. It's difficult because I know that it will get to a point where training will be rubbish. So I'm just trying to keep the mindset of like progress, just rinse everything you can out now, and then continue to try and do that for as long as possible. I know as it gets closer, I will get weaker. We'll end up dropping the volume on a lot of stuff, but I just want to just minimum hold on to numbers I've set and sort of the foundation built over the last year. And we're continuing to build on that at the moment, which is flipping amazing, especially considering I'm definitely leaning out. Like I said, nowhere near where I need to be for a show, but we're right on schedule. It'll be exciting to see sort of when the fat starts to pull off of the lower back a little bit more, and the legs as well. I think that they're going to be a bit of a struggle, especially the glutes, but that's something that a lot of natural bodybuilders are sort of striving towards, is having striated glutes and just getting as peeled as possible. So that's exciting. I'm really excited to see what I look like, absolutely shredded, because I've obviously never been in stage condition. So yeah, that'll be something. But first 12-ish weeks, or however many weeks it's been, have been really good. I think it's nice to sort of reflect on how it's been. I mean, my food has dropped pretty significantly. I mean, I started at 225 protein, which has stayed the same. Oh, I can't remember how much carbs I was eating. I think it was 700. Now I'm at 360. And I was at 60 fat on training days, and now I'm at 50. But everything's coming along nicely. That being said, I was saying this to some family members this morning, was sort of like every week that goes by, you question more and more about, do I have enough muscle? Like, am I going to be able to do this? Not in terms of am I going to be able to compete, but am I going to be able to sort of reach the standards that I had in my head prior to this? Like something that I'm already becoming conscious of is like my arms. I feel like they're just not big enough. But then all my pushing musculature is great. I feel like my back has developed a hell of a lot over the last year, and then my legs are just ridiculous comparative to where they've been before. So, but then they're still not big enough. So that's the sort of thing. It's trying to continue to think, okay, I'm progressing, I'm doing well, like I'm doing all these things, but ultimately I don't feel that good. So that's something challenging, I suppose, mentally, and I know that it will only get worse as I get leaner. But that's why I said this to Finn in the check-in, was my main thing is just focusing on doing what I should be doing, and then I'll go from there. But yeah, I think that's everything for today. I hope you enjoyed the little snippets of this week's session, and if there's anything you want to see, then yeah, please let me know. Awesome, guys. Have a great day. You have a great day. Cheers.
Okay, people, so I just returned from the gym to a lovely package at the door for something I'm going to have to get used to wearing. These are my posing trunks. I've never actually seen, well, I've seen someone wearing posing trunks before, but I've never just seen them like this. It's just ridiculous. This is going to be so bizarre putting this on. But I'm gonna have to try it on at some point and get used to this. But that is something. That looks like a face mask for a biker, like black, leathery, and tiny. That is just. I'm shocked, honestly. Like, you see the photos of people wearing them, and they're obviously small. And then when you actually see it, it's ridiculous. So yeah, that's got me a little bit nervous about trying that on for the first time. But to be fair, I'm glad they're here and here now, so I can get used to wearing them. But yeah, that is just something. I knew I was going to be shocked, but like actually seeing them in person definitely could be worse. At least there is like an ass to it. It's not a thong, so that's the ass bit. But blimey, that is something. 45 quid that cost. Blimey. At least it looks like it's good quality and everything. So yeah, that's that. But I thought I'd give a little reaction to the package.